I read somewhere in the Bible that says your enemies will come in one way and they will flee in 7 ways. So I just told myself that to every problem that comes to you, there are at least 7 solutions to that problem.
It's another episode of the Mentors Lounge, and I'm so happy, so pumped up to be hosting one of my mentors on the Mentors Lounge this day in the person of Mr. Kola OLUGBODI. He's someone that I respect so much because of the things that he has been able to achieve in life. And I'm sure that every one of us will benefit from this interview of this great man, minister, and a phenomenal figure in Nigeria. Welcome with me onto Mentors Lounge, Mr. Kola OLUGBODI. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lewis. It's really nice to be on your program. And thanks for the great job you are doing with the Mentors Lounge. So thank you for bringing me on.
You're welcome, sir. Now, I don't want to assume that anyone who is watching knows who Mr. Kola OLUGBODI is. Yes, media will say that, yes, this is this person. Newspaper will record, TV station will say, but I always like people to hear from the horse's mouth. Can we meet the person of Mr. OLUGBODI?
All right. So my name is Kola OLUGBODI. I was born August 6, 1965. I grew up in the city of Lagos. My primary school was in Lagos, Atunda-Olu Primary School. And then I started my secondary school from Lagos, that's Baptist Academy. And I later crossed over to Baptist High School, Ede, in Osun State of Nigeria, where I graduated in 1982, 83. Then I actually went to university in Obafemi Awolowo University, that's in Osun State, in Nigeria. And I graduated in 1988. I studied Demography and Social Statistics. And I currently serve as the CEO of Background Check International, the pioneers of the background screening industry in Nigeria. I'm also an author. At least I wrote a book titled Through It All, the memoir of my many trials and triumph in life. It's not an autobiography per se, but it's a book I wrote to just capture all the challenges I've gone through in life. And then, of course, I wrote it with the background of what others are going through. And of course, to just let them learn that if they are going through some of the things I've been through in life, they can also surmount some of those challenges. So that is who I think I am.
Awesome. Thank you very much, sir, for that beautiful, quick summary of who the person of Mr. Kola OLUGBODI is. Now, you see, one of the reasons why the Mentors Lounge is here is to democratize success, right? To make it normal to be successful, to show people that despite whatever odds that you have gone through, despite the challenge or trial you're going through, you can actually surmount it. And what the best way to do that is to bring people who have gone through trials, who have gone through challenges, and they are standing today. There may be someone watching this now who is going through a particular moment in life. by hearing what another person has gone through and is here, the person can have some kind of a eureka moment, an encouragement, and say that, oh, if this person actually went through this and is here now, right? Yes, and that's what they can also make it too. So that's all the Mentors Line is all about, bringing mentors, role models to the table to share their own backstory, because, you know, because of the way the social media is wired now, everybody is all about the glamour, they have made it. But what happened behind? What was behind the scene, right? People don't hear what is behind the scene.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
So now there is something that I respect about you, sir. You started an industry that was not in existence, to the best of my knowledge, in the country, Nigeria, and you have build the profile up to this level that you are the forefront of that industry. How do you chart a blue ocean? I mean, an industry that was not in existence. How do you chart it and you create the model, the structure? And I'm sure there are some others that have come up after you now. So that means the path was created by yourself and so people are now following. How do you create that? Because definitely in the next 5 years, there will be some industries that we have not seen yet that will come up. And somebody is kind of in the moment of trying to nurse something and is wondering, can this thing work? How are you able to do this?
Can it be? Well, thank you so much for that question. I won't try to portray myself as someone so smart and that can come up with just anything. I sincerely speaking, I don't see myself like that. And that's why, although it's always very strange, but anywhere I go, when I'm asked that question, I don't try to make it look like, okay, this is Kola OLUGBODI, that smart guy. Everything started with God, sincerely speaking. Even though in business, we don't always talk God, you know. And now people see what is happening with Background Check International. I say, oh, that guy is great. But before Background Check International, there was somebody that went through hell. You know, I thought I was smart. I started a business sometime in 1994, 95, you know, and the business seemed to be doing well. I was into marketing some commodities. People were investing into the business. And all of a sudden, things just took another turn and the business nosedived. And that was the beginning, and I was in so much debt and everything. And I was in search of another business that will be so, just good enough to help me to keep offsetting the debts, and then at least to keep my family at least
above
keep
waters.
us alive, above waters and everything. So I kept on doing a lot of things. I started with pure water business, and I discovered that I was not cut out for that. Then later I found myself, I sold the vehicle I was using for the pure water business. And I went into all this multi-level marketing business, because the understanding I got was that if you were able to sell some of the products and then get downlines, then the downlines will push you upline. And then because you are selling the product and making money from the downline also, your money will be going sideline. And I said, I think this will be interesting. So I sold the truck I was using for the pure water business, jumped into the multi-level marketing business. I never knew it's always very difficult making downlines. After a year or two, I succeeded in making only one downline. Wow. I bought a combo pack of the product. I succeeded in selling maybe just like 1, 2, 3 of the products. and everybody kept on complaining, oh, it's so expensive and everything. So the money that I think I made from selling the truck, now I have the product that is not moving. And at the end of the day, for it not to waste, we actually made use of almost all the product in the combo pack at home. And then, of course, that was how the truck went down the drain, money went. Wow. What else did I try? Then, okay, I always see myself as somebody very smart. That yes, I think I can always make anything work. Then I jumped into the DSTV business. I didn't have money to start, but I was smart enough to walk up to the chairman of MultiChoice through one of my younger brothers working there. And I said, I don't have money to be one of your distributors. I'm going to work as one of the distributors. I'm going to get enough business. And I just need one favor from you. When I get people that need the decoders, can I get it at distributor's price? It just obliged me. So I was all over Lagos making customers for DSTV and, selling the decoders, and then the business stopped one day when hustling and a car cleared me on top of one Okada, So I'm saying all this so that, many see the journey now, but they don't know where you're coming from, I hustled, I was hustling until the year 2001 when everybody was saying Happy New Year. And I knew it has been from maybe 1997 up to that time. No year had been happy for me. Full of struggling and striving. So 2021 January, I just decided to drop everything and lay it before God and say, God, I'm not going to struggle this year. I'm not going to just hustle based on my strength and steam. I want you to help me. Just tell me what to do, I always say this so that everybody will know the genesis. At times, it's not always from our head. It comes beyond our head. It was in the process of praying that I clearly got the instruction from God that He was going to start something entirely new through me in Nigeria. Nobody was doing it. It led me to a passage in the Bible, Isaiah chapter 41, verse 15. To be precise, so I will make you into a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. He said, I'm going to thresh the mountains and beat them small. Reading that passage of scripture, and I kept on praying and asking God questions. And I just got the wisdom that is making me into a new sharp threshing instrument. And that means it's starting something entirely new through me in Nigeria. And then he said the mountains and the hills are going to be the caliber of the clients that I'm going to be servicing. He said foreigners will build your walls, sons of strangers will feed your flock. So it made me to know that I'm going to be servicing foreign organizations. And then, of course, if there are going to be Nigerian organizations, there are going to be the blue chip companies. So it was so clear like that. And the only question I kept on asking after I had all those things inside of my spirit was that, so what is new? Is there anything new? Can anything be new? It was like I had seen it all. What business can still be new in Nigeria? And of course, that 2021 was when the GSM business started in Nigeria. Econet, MTN, and the likes. When in June 2021, the first GSM business started, I just told myself, I said, yes, now I know what is new. This is new. And I just jumped into that business also. I spoke to one of my cousins that had enough money to really start a business. He was a distributor for one of the GSM complaints. He was into the phone business. And I told him, I'm going to market your products what price are you going to give me? Then I can mark it up. I was struggling. I jumped into that business also until a point when God just told me again. I said, it was like a question. That time I was on my way to Akure selling GSM phones on behalf of my cousin, selling the SIM cards.
The SIM cards.
And I was on my way to Akure to go and break, of course, because GSM was just, I think FTM just started in Ondo State then. So I said, yeah, let's quickly go and break the ground there. And I was driving down to Akure, and I just had in my spirit, like God asking me, so Kola, what are you doing? I said, God, thank you. I'm doing a new thing. And I just had, no, I didn't say you were going to join a new thing. I said I was going to start a new thing through you. So I was still selling the GSM, but now I knew that, okay, I was not supposed to join a new business, but I was supposed to start a new thing. And, along the line, to cut the long story short, my younger brothers work in a company, in a multinational, and they needed to do background check. And that company searched for a background check company in Nigeria, and they could not get one. And of course, my younger brother is somebody as smart as myself. So he just told himself, so if background check is not in Nigeria, then we must start one. So he was really planning on starting one, doing the research. And all of a sudden, he just felt, no, this is not for me. It's for my brother. He just discussed it with me. And of course, I looked into some of the things he has researched and everything. And, it just occurred to me at that point that this is the new thing. And of course, so that was how I just embraced the idea, fully, wholeheartedly, and then of course I started working on marketing it and trying to get investors. But then everybody was asking me, what do you say this idea is? I said, background check. We help organizations to vet their staff before they recruit them or before confirmation. And somebody asked me, said, so who is saying it in Nigeria? I said, to the best of my knowledge, no one. I said, the problem is that if it's going to work in Nigeria, somebody would have been doing it before you. When I believe in something, I believe it with the whole of my heart, with the whole of my being, with the whole of my strength. So I threw myself into it, and to the glory of God, I incorporated the company in 2004, June 21. And of course, to the glory of God, Background Check International has been in existence for 17 years now. It's becoming a policy issue for organizations in Nigeria to ensure that they run background check on their staff. So I went through all this so that you will know that I'm not that smart. I only have a God that is smart.
Absolutely, sir. This is really deep, because looking at what you've gone through, right? There are some, I'll call them turning points. Like they're like moments, turning points at that the trajectory of your life. When your brother brought the idea, you decided to dig into it. You had encounters, promptings inside you that was like something in the background. Nobody knew all this background conversation going on.
No.
It was just within. And so these are some of the things that we as humans, middle age, young, go through. And it's like, you'll be asking yourself, are you sane? Is this thing normal? Why is this, And these are internal struggles that people go through. And they're like, how do you break forth into this thing? And your brother came and you took it and you went on, and now it's 17 years.
Exactly.
My question is this: based on your own experience so far, what can you advise someone who is going through those kind of internal struggles in order to kind of bat something, or to be able to take it to the next level? Some people don't get out of that internal struggle and they just resign to fate. Some don't some don't overcome it. Some just go into depression. So many things happening, badging around here and there. What would you advise anybody going through that? How do you go from that level to a level where you can say, okay, there is light at the tunnel here now?
All right. Well, maybe because I'm somebody that believes so much in spiritual things. When the first business I did that went under, when it happened,
yes, sir,
and I was looking for just the next thing to do, and everything kept on failing. I just told myself, I read somewhere in the Bible that says your enemies will come in one way, and they will flee in 7 ways. So I just told myself that to every problem that comes to you, there are at least 7 solutions to that problem.
Wow, that's profound.
So
wow.
So jumping from one
I've not seen it in that dimension before. Go on, sir.
So I've always believed that there's always a way. There's always a way. There's always a way. And when people come back to you and say, no, it's not happening, I said, no, you are not actually searching enough, because there are at least 7 ways. There are 7 ways you can do that thing. There are 7 solutions to this issue. So that's one of those things that kept me going on. I know many people, once they try 1, 2, 3 things, most times when they get to the 3rd thing, they tell themselves, I have tried enough. Nothing is working. If you're from our side of the world, the Yoruba people always believe that once you have tried something 3 times, that means, okay, the first one was a mistake, the second one, well, but the 3rd one, that is the final. Then it's wrong. It's wrong. For me, if you have not tried it at least 7 times, don't tell me that you have tried. So that's the first thing I want people to know. There is always a way. That is the second principle I always tell myself. There is always a way. When you say, oh no, there is no way, no, there is always a way. If you try very well, you will discover other ways that some things can be done. And those are like the principles that keep me going on. And then, of course, some people always believe some things are not meant for us in life. No, only some people are meant to make it in life. Only some people are meant to be successful in life. I discovered that, number 1, it's what you believe that you get. As a man thinks in his heart, so are you.
So is he, yeah.
I've always believed that I'm meant to be a great person. Even when things around me are looking like, Mr. Man, you are the poorest of every rat we can see here. I'll tell myself, no, I'm meant for greatness. I'm going to be great. And I've always told myself, even from when I can remember, maybe at age 10, that I'm going to be great. I remember one day I sat my mother down and I was telling her my dreams. I said, Mommy, I'm going to be very great. Do you know that? She said, in Jesus' name. She thought I was praying. That I was just telling her my dreams. I said, in the future, I was like 10 or 12 then. I said, in the future, I'm going to be doing businesses across the country, across the world. And people will be bringing things from abroad and everything. My mother was just saying, amen, amen. That day as if, well, this boy is daydreaming. But you see, the truth of the matter was that when I was going through challenges, those things keep playing through my head, and I keep telling myself, all right, I'm meant for greatness in life. I'm going to be great in life. You understand?
Yes,
so some can't see anything good about themselves. But the truth is that life is so natural. Yeah. Life is so natural. Some people are not meant to be great. Some are not meant to be poor. But when you believe that this is who you are going to be, that's what you end up to be in life. At least that's what I see playing out in my life. You understand? Yeah. So that's why everything I'd gone through, I remembered when we were going through those hard times, I'll keep telling my wife, don't worry, it won't always be like this. One day, you see, I'm going to take you around the world. We're going to, you see, and she will just believe that this guy is just a dreamer like Joseph. So when things are playing out now, sincerely speaking, I get more humbled by the things happening now, because it's as if I'd always seen them from when I was young. I don't know whether I'm making sense.
You are making serious sense, sir. This is heavy nuggets that is coming from the well of wisdom. Heavy nuggets.
You know, so it's as a man believes in his heart, that's how you turn out to be.
Awesome. This is deep.
That's how you turn out to be.
This is deep.
And you see, for me, I've always told myself, in fact, I think it was when I turned 50 or thereabouts that I told myself, I said, Kola is enough. I've always told myself, I've got points to prove. I've got points to prove that I can be better than this. I can be greater than this. I can become known. I can become, you understand those things?
Yes.
But many of us, sincerely speaking, to me, it's more like playing games. It's just like playing games. I just say, okay, I'm going to be this, I'm going to win this, I'm going to buy that house, more especially like Monopoly. How do I get house in this place? How do I build hotels here? That is the way up until now I handle life. So when I lose things, some people say, how do you take those things? I say, no, I don't take them anyhow. Because life goes on.
It goes on.
If I made it and I lost it, that means I could make it again. You understand? So that's what I would tell anyone going through anything in life. If you are going through struggles in life, you've done businesses, it failed, and you are trying a lot of things, they are not working out, and then you now conclude. I've had people say, oh, I'm not cut out for such a thing. You've just told yourself another truth, or rather you just told yourself a lie that you have made to be a truth. I am not cut out for that. Who told you? And you know, the way the life psychologically, when you tell yourself, I am not cut out for that, everything in you will agree with you and say, all right, he's not cut out to be anybody important in life. Let everything just work like that. That's the way I found it work in life.
Yeah.
Always be determined, always be optimistic, always believe. Always believe. Believe beyond yourself. And of course, the truth is that if you now have God on your side, I am so weak. You've seen me physically, Dr. William Lewis. You know I'm weak physically.
Yes.
But the things I do, they are beyond what I am supposed to be doing. But if I confine myself to who I think I am, I've limited myself.
Right.
My strength is of the Lord, not of myself.
Right.
So those are some of the things you just need to settle in your heart and just keep believing.
Awesome. In fact, thank you so much for that powerful delivery. I mean, anyone that is listening to this will actually can take this and run with it. Because you've mentioned something. I mean, I've heard of this script. I mean, I've read that scripture a lot of times about though the enemy come in one way, they shall flee in 7 ways. Now, the way you now position it, that the enemy comes in one way, the enemy can be a challenge, it can be a problem.
Yeah.
And they say it shall flee in 7 ways. That means there is bound to be 7 avenues for it to take flight. And you have taken it to be like a 7 solutions. I mean, that is profound. I mean, if there's a very profound statement that anybody can run with. I mean, thank you so much, sir. Now,
you're welcome.
I mean, it's been very, very powerful session so far. Let me go to some other questions which I'm going to ask you. Now, on this journey, right? This journey of life, being a father, being a business person, especially in the turbulent water of Nigeria, what are some landmines, right, that you would advise any entrepreneur to avoid?
All right. The things to avoid, like I tell people, many things that happen, it's going to look like repetition of what I've said, but I'll try to apply it. Okay, let me use an example. You know, we have had several recessions in Nigeria.
Yes.
I remember a particular recession. I think the one we had before this last one. Things were so bad, and organizations were really downsizing. Everybody was closing shop. And you know, I just told myself that, yeah, things are bad. But even in recession, they are not supposed to be ways that we do business that will yet make us to stay on board. You know, and yeah. I just discovered that with recession, more especially with my own line of business, with recession comes insecurity. And with insecurity comes a lot of nefarious activities. Now, we service majorly organizations. Then recession came and things moved from businesses to people trying to dupe families. You want to kidnap, you want to just go there as a driver and steal their vehicle. You want to just find your way into the family and then kidnap their children, you know. So the idea of the business shifted from corporate to individual and domestic. Before we knew it, even though it was recession, but we knew insecurity was high, we discovered that families needed help. And so we started another line of business, which was more of domestic background check. And we discovered that though business was bad, we actually, that year was our best year ever.
Wow.
Financially speaking.
Wow.
All right. So when things are so bad in the business climate, please don't follow the crowd. Just put on your thinking cap and say, okay, if everything is going south, what else will not follow it to go south? Can we diversify into that and at least stay on board or move? I mean, start moving a little bit to the north. You understand?
Yes.
And then, of course, that is when you're already into business.
Yeah.
But where the mistake of business or entrepreneurs always start is always at the beginning. Many always have wrong understanding of how to start and go into a business. Some had always believed you must have everything set up. Like one of my younger brothers that left a paid job that was going to start his own business. Of course, he made a lot of money from his whatever when he left the bank. And he got a very big property, furnished it, every place styled, every place turned into glass, spent several millions. And I told him, I said, this is not how to start business. He said, no, if you want to make big clients to come, then you must appear big. And then I told him, in Nigeria business, maybe in other parts of the country or the world, fine. But in Nigeria, I tell you, an average customer or client will never visit your office. And so he set up that with almost like 8 million. The first year, maybe 1 or 2 clients visited him. And so now I'm okay. Now he was supposed to roll it over and pay another 8 million. Meanwhile, I've offered him a room in my office. So you need only one room, only one office space, and you can do business all over the world. Right. You understand?
Right.
And then so he had to close. He didn't pay for that. Took the advice I gave him like 2-3 years ago, took that small space in my office, and then business started booming. You understand?
Yes.
I remember when I was going to start background check. Now we have over like close to 100 staff. But I was the first staff. I only had the idea, but I didn't have money even to rent an office. Thank God I didn't have money. I didn't even have money to buy a laptop. And so I had to start thinking, all right, I have this idea. I need to make my proposals and start getting in touch with organizations. I met with one of my cousins. I said, Kay, I need your desktop to make my proposals. Is that okay? And the guy said, why not? So when everybody had gone to the office, I will go to Kay's house. So his desktop and his sitting room was my first office. Generated my proposals with his desktop. Thank God I had a car. Drove around Lagos dropping proposals. Thank God I have enough money to buy a phone. So my office, my car, and Kayode's office and sitting room was my first office. My two first office.
Yes.
And so when anybody calls when we have drop proposal, I'm going to still be the one to pick the call.
Yeah.
But in order to make it not look like a one-man's business, I will use my first name to pick the call. So when you call me, I say, hello, this is Alex. How may I help you? This is BCI. How may I help you? I say, can we speak to your CEO? And I say, hold on. Then the next voice you will hear, I say, this is Kola OLUGBODI. How can I? I was doing a lot of drama.
Wow. This is straight from the horse's mouth.
The first job came in, and it was a multinational, just like God had told me. And I just felt if I go there alone, they will say, oh, okay, now only you will come. Are you? So I had to tell that my cousin, I said, okay, you are following me somewhere. I told one of my sister-in-laws, I said, Lady, you are following me somewhere. And then my younger sister, I said, the 3 of you follow me somewhere. We are all background check international. I said, when we get there, when they ask technical questions, please just let me alone answer. When they ask general questions, any of you can answer. We got the first job from a multinational without an office, without anything. You understand?
Yes.
In fact, then the second job came from a bank. I don't need to even staff, because I just needed to train some people to know how to do the work, and they get them done. I compiled the report and sent it to the client, and they paid me. And so when I felt like people needed to start coming to see me, I spoke to one of my elder brother's friend that had a big office somewhere in Ikeja and said, please, I just need a space. And of course, he was into billboard advertising. So his own staff comes in the morning and they all go out to fix billboard. So when they go out, I come in.
Wow.
And I was running a company that was going to be multi-whatever, almost on zero whatever. So what I'm telling us is that you don't always need to start big. All you need to do is think big and start small. You see, I read a principle from one of the books. I read a lot of books because I knew I didn't know business. I was reading a lot of books. One of the principles I read in one of the books said it's the bullet and the cannon principle. So if you're going to do a business, you have a business idea and you want to go into it.
Yeah.
You have a bullet, you have a cannonball. So before you shoot a cannonball, try and aim at that thing with bullets. Said if your bullet keep missing, there is a high probability you shoot a cannonball, you will still miss. But if you are aiming at it and your bullet is hitting it, then you cannot do it big. So start small,
right,
and then keep doing it until you now shoot your cannonball.
Right. Wow.
Sincerely speaking, that's the principle that by God's grace I applied. And so it's all about growing organically. My first, then I needed someone else, so I got a staff. Then later we were 5, later we were 10, later we were 20, then 30, now 100. You understand? So it's I was not throwing money away. Meanwhile, I didn't even have the money. So what do I want to throw away?
Awesome.
You understand? So those are some of the ways you need to start. You don't need to start big when you are not yet big.
Absolutely.
Start small and then grow into what you want to be.
Absolutely.
So those are some of the principles I think people need to follow, well, especially young people that want to go into business now.
Honestly.
In fact, some of you don't even need office. All you need is your laptop and you're doing business all over the world. And it's not going to be Yahoo business.
Absolutely not. what we're pushing on this Mentors Lounge is legit, proven strategies, proven ways. I mean, what you've just shared is gold mine for anyone who wants to run this course. I mean, I can pick about 6 or 7 things just from these answers that you've given now. Leverage on friends. Don't start big, start small. Have the big picture in mind and focus. Then it talks about packaging, how you package yourself also matters. Then having a clear-cut goal of what you want to achieve, because that is what will be driving you. I mean, it's really deep, sir. Thank you so much for those responses. Now,
think big.
Yeah, think big and start small. Now, in the world that we are today, technology is taking over everything. There is no doubt about it that technology is going to erode some profession. So, I remember, I think it was in 2004, 2005, when we had High Five. We had High Five that time, and then followed by Facebook. And Facebook swallowed High Five. There was also something called MySpace. Swallowed it.
Yeah.
Now we don't even know higher of those ones anymore. Now, the question is this. In the background check industry, with the way things are evolving, what do you think will be the role of artificial intelligence or robotics in background check industry?
Yeah.
What would be the
that's a hello. So that's a very big question you've asked. We know that technology is changing the face of everything now.
Yes.
And anyone that does not innovate along with the side of technology, you'll be left behind.
Right.
You know, and of course, we know now that I was watching some investigation programs on the TV, and then the crude way that investigations were done back then, and then the way that technology and Google search and everything has changed the face of how investigations are done.
Yeah.
So of course in BCI, I hope you're still with me.
Yes, I'm with you, sir. You're perfectly online.
In BCI, like we have, we are coming up with, all right. Okay, so we are coming up with ways that people can actually do verifications almost on their own.
Right.
Yeah. And of course, putting into consideration the development of database mining in Nigeria.
Yeah.
We have a product online now that is called EduCheck. That if you want to do any verification in Nigeria, maybe check your own educational certificates, or maybe you just got a job in Australia or anywhere in the world, you can just log on to EduCheck. And because we've worked for over the years, there is a possibility that we already have your data in our data, in our data bank, and then people can actually, database. Thank you. And people can actually just get reports in real time.
Right.
That's part of, to the best of our own ability now in BCI, we try to really make background check to be a real-time thing. Working on the data we have been able to garner and gather over the years.
Awesome.
So as we go on, we keep seeing how artificial intelligence and everything can come into it. Research also is still going on so much as to how we can really make everything much more seamless than what we are doing presently.
Thank you very much for that, sir. It only shows that as a CEO, you are not sitting on your oars. That you've achieved something. You're already looking ahead that if we don't key into this thing now, it may be pushed aside. Now,
one will be left behind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So now, recently you were awarded the Outstanding Background Check Personality of the Decade by Marketing Edge Awards. That was a recent award that you got. And I was wondering, what are the protocols or strategies that have become part of you that help you to maintain an untainted national corporate profile? Because there is this saying that says that great men, or will I say great men or women and individuals, there is a ritual about them. Ritual means like routine, something that has become part of them that by default, they just do it. So for you to be recognized as someone that has that profile over a decade, what will you say are the things that have become like protocol with you, strategy that you adopt, and it has become something that is like at the back of your hand? You just do it.
All right. I think, of course, the very fundamental one is that if God started this, He gave the idea for the background check, and because I read the Bible a lot.
Yes.
The Bible said, "Would you start in the spirit and now continue in the flesh?" So if God had started this for us, do I now want to say, "Okay, God, you've done well. Now sit down. I know how to continue from now." I'll be the biggest fool of the century.
Yeah.
So if He was the one that gave the idea, sincerely speaking, we keep carrying Him on.
Good.
I keep asking Him, so God, what next? What next? You know, like the scripture that I quoted the other time, that's Isaiah chapter 41, verse 15.
Yes.
It said, "I will make you into a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth." You know, one day I now read it in another version of the Bible, and it said, "I will make you into a new sharp threshing instrument with many sharp teeth." I said, all right, many. All right. Meanwhile, we started with employment background check.
Right.
So for the first time, I was saying many. Meanwhile, the only thing I read was that I will make you into a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. But that teeth did not come out until I read another version that said many teeth. So, okay. So there are many more things we will do here.
Right.
So gradually, I now know that there are many other things we need to do in BCI as a company, and we are gradually entering into them. For some Nigerians in diaspora like you want to buy properties in Nigeria, you're not sure of who to trust to help you confirm whether the property is genuine or not. If you get in touch with us in BCI, we play that role for you. And then you tell somebody at home to help you build a property, a house, and they keep showing you pictures of the development and not knowing that they are only showing you the pictures of another person's property, and they have actually swallowed your money, so to speak. You know, now we do that. We have property verification. We tell you don't buy property without getting a BCI verified. You know, so we see ourselves going into different areas. Now maybe you're searching for someone, one of your relatives or something, and you don't know where they are again, or you were in school together 5, 10, 15 years ago, and you want to locate, you get in touch with us. We can do that. So the many teeth is now working. So one of the things that happens to me every day is that I know we are not there yet.
Right.
So I keep going on. And of course, that is going to make you to continue to just keep staying in touch with God and say, God, all right, so what was the next tools that we need to start making use of, you know? And then you see, another thing that I've discovered, the way businesses are going now, if anyone is going to do any business with any organization, maybe because of the advent of the social media, people now ask the question, so who is the CEO of that organization? And then people check you up. They see you, the way you talk on social media or whatever, and then you're either influencing them positively or negatively. So as a principle, I know that one of my purpose in life is to impact people's lives for God and for good, or for good and for God. And I don't hide that part of me.
Yeah.
So all over social media, you will always see me because I feel I now have an avenue to reach out to people.
Right.
And you see, many people see the true person or my true persona, so to speak, and then it's impacting on the company.
Yeah.
So I just tell myself, I just need to be myself. Every day I am myself. So whether you meet me on the phone or you meet me in the program, I just want to be myself. And you know, the other thing that I know that on a daily basis that keeps going me on is that I know that I'm a very courageous person, full of, I'm very resilient. Courageous because you have 1,000,001 things that want to tell you, don't do it, don't go there, don't try it. But if you are not a constantly courageous person, ideas will come to you and you drop them. I'm somebody that always tell myself, there's no harm in experimenting. If I try it, if it works, beautiful. If I try it, it doesn't work. Oh, all right, I've tried, I've found one thing that I need not try, but I'm going to try. You know, and maybe the last thing that I want to mention is being humble. Humility is a choice. We an average human being, we actually have pride in us. You try something and it works, and the next thing your head is getting so big. You know, but over time I've discovered, you know, just like the award you mentioned, the background check personality of the decade. To me, that looks so big. You're talking 10 years back. And I look by myself and I always look at how everything started. And I don't dare to make myself look or sound smart. So all those things always get me so humble. I get humbled by things like that and said, all right, so those things that started like joke, using another man's desktop, driving, you being the driver, you being the secretary, you are the business development executive, you are the CEO, you are the PA. I was the everything that was like a joke playing out to people now recognizing me. Sincerely speaking, I feel so humble. So I try not to make my head tell me that, oh, Kola, see yourself, you are doing good. And I think to a large extent, it's helping me.
Yeah.
It's helping me. And some people say, we never think you can come to our own gathering. We are too small. You always go to our big gatherings. And I don't ever want to become like those people that feel, no, I can't, I'm too big to relate with type of people.
Yes.
So
yes.
those are the type of things and
honestly.
I used to have the fear of failure, but it's no more there. It's no more there. The whole Kola, you will fail. But now I know that if God is the one backing me up, the day God fails is the day I will fail. And I found out that he doesn't fail and he can never fail. Absolutely. So I can't be afraid.
Absolutely. That's wonderful, sir. Thank you for those life, not just life strategies that have become part of you. Now, just a few more questions for you, and I'll release it because I know that you are very busy. Now, you know, we get inspiration, and you have mentioned that you read books. What business-related books has inspired you the most in your life?
All right.
That has inspired you the most that on this journey, or maybe 1, 2, 3, whatever, you just share with us.
The biggest of all the business books I've read that keeps working for me every day is the Bible.
Awesome.
People don't know that there are principles, serious business principles in the Bible. So and I'm telling you the truth, when I want to know the next way to do a thing, the first place I consult is the Bible. Now, I told you that during recession, everybody was saying there is a casting down. But I know the Bible says when everybody is saying there is a casting down, then for me, there's going to be a lifting up. Everybody knew there was famine and they were running down to Egypt. And God told Isaac, he said, stay here. So those are some of the principles that worked for me. So the biggest business book I read is the Bible.
Awesome.
And I apply principles every day, you know. And then, of course, you know, the next person that I learned business from so much was Brian Tracy.
Wow.
I read a lot of Brian Tracy books. I listened to a lot of his videos, you know. And then, of course, next to Brian Tracy is John Maxwell.
Wow.
If you don't see any other, in my book collections, you will see more of Brian Tracy and John Maxwell. Those two. And then, of course, along the line came Jim Collins.
Oh, Jim Collins. Good to Great.
Collins wrote Good to Great, Great by Choice, and then How the Mighty Fall, or something like that. I've read almost all his books, and it's not that I've read, I keep reading.
Yeah.
Like the bullet and cannonball principle I mentioned is from Great by Choice. And you know, Great by Choice is all about some people are not destined to be great. If you're going to be great in life, you make it a choice.
You choose.
You know, and you follow all the necessary principles and procedures that will take you there.
Right.
So, and then of course, I love reading books written by CEOs of reputable companies.
Right.
Which books now? I've read the one by the CEO of Nike. That is the shoe dog, the one for Starbucks. You know, so I want to know what other CEOs know, what mistakes have they made, how did they get to where they have gotten to. So those are some of the books I read all the time.
Awesome. Wow. This interview is going to people are going to watch this over and over again, because this, you know why I so much like the fact that we're bringing people to come and share the backstory. Is because this is not film trick, this is not theory. This is, I've gone through it and this is what I did. If you want to go this path, follow this way, avoid this. And that is all everyone needs to be able to learn how to move up in life. All right, just 2 more questions, sir, and I will release you today.
Okay.
As a spiritual person, right? One thing I also ask people is, what are the spiritual disciplines that you have intentionally conditioned yourself to, that conditions your routine in life? Right? Spiritual disciplines that you have abide with, you condition yourself to that. This is how I choose to live, and this is my spiritual routines. Apart from reading and all those things, what are the spiritual?
Okay. Well, I think the one I will put at number 1, because I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. And I discovered that the junction when everything started turning right was when I decided to not do it my way, but listen to God to give me instruction. That was when things started turning right in my life. So every day of my life, it's a routine. You know, I never knew some people used to hear me say it. but I'm in my office alone and I'm saying it in Yoruba. And I want to take a decision and say, so it just became a part of me. It was until somebody that came to my office as a visitor was saying it somewhere else that I had, and I said, oh, all right. I don't know, I say it that loud for everyone, that people that come to my office hear me saying it, and Oluwakomi Moshe simply means, God, teach me how to do it. Teach me how to do it. What should I do? What should I do? How do I do it? So it's something you catch me doing on a regular basis, staying in tune with God, staying in tune with the Holy Spirit. I want every decision I make to be guided and suggested by Him.
Yes.
You know, so when I do them, everybody keeps saying, how do you do it? And somebody will ask me, I said, I don't even know how I do it. I just felt I got that instruction and I went ahead. So that's the first thing. And if I want to really remain in tune like that, then I need to keep reading my Bible and pray every day. You know, and you know what? One thing that needs to also become part of us is that we all need to discover the reason you are in this world.
Right.
Somebody said two most important days in the life of a man: the day you were born and the day you discover the reason why you were born. You know, so I, for one, I know the reason why I was born. I'm here to impact lives. I'm here to heal the brokenhearted, to set the captives free, to show way to people, to give hope to people. Nobody should ever meet me and will leave me without getting hope. So every day of my life, I live to see God. So who do you want me to impact for you today? You know, so I live my day, in other words, I live my day every day fulfilling the purpose why I'm in this world.
Awesome.
And I don't count myself to have achieved anything for that day until I can say, God, thank God, at least this one,
it is.
You helped me to help.
Right.
So that's my daily spiritual.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir. It's great hearing this from you, because for the younger generation, I mean, everyone will be able to pick a lot of things from your interview. So the last thing is your advice for this platform that we're doing here, your advice for the Mentors Lounge, the younger generation, and final thoughts. Just like you said, I remember an encounter I had, I think when I was in SS2 in 93, and the encounter was with God. And after that moment, I think I was praying one prayer for about 2 years. And what was the prayer? The prayer was, why am I here? Why am I in this place? And the answer I got as being the kind of compass that have driven me up to this point, that I'm also doing this now. Because take it or leave it, we see a lot of big figures, people at the top. There is no story. There is this saying that said that in Africa we don't capture our stories, right? We don't capture things. People grow, they become 70, 80, and they just transition, and they don't share anything about some of the things that helped them, some of the things that they were able to do. And so,
right.
And that is what has prompted the birth of the Mentors Lounge, that bring people. I mean, by the grace of God, I have a large network, and I'm both older people than me, younger than me. I want to bring everybody to the table. Like, please, we can democratize success. We can make success become normal, right? People, they say that the role of mentors is to shorten the lifespan it will take you to get where you're going.
Exactly.
So if they had gone through that part before, they can tell you that there is a landmine here, there is a pitfall here, go this way, and you get there faster. So
exactly.
Your thoughts, your final thoughts, your advice for us as we round up this.
Well,
it's been a pleasure.
The reason why it's always recommended that we read books, it's so that we can find wisdom that will take us on in life. And I read books of CEOs. Now you are bringing CEOs to come talk about their life. You understand? So it's a big work you are doing. And I want to imagine for someone that will sit here and then hear like 10, 20, 30, 50 CEOs take it so bare, not talking all those MBA English.
No.
Just telling us how simple some of these things. You need to know how I was afraid of business, especially after I failed, because I just felt, some people seem to be better to do, cut out. At the point was telling myself, in fact, at the point I told myself, I'm not a businessman, I'm just doing business.
Wow.
Because I feel there are some people that are pros, but you entered into it by chance. But now I just know there is no pro. And I just know that, there are principles, but the principles are endless. They are endless. And that is how we grow. You find a wisdom that made someone do it. You add it to what the little you think you have, and then boom, you have gone. So this is a big project you have embarked on. This is just the way to go. When people can just know that, okay, there's another mentor, someone I've been eyeing for long, that is going to be talking how God helped him to become whosoever he is to get today, and you see, it's going to help demystify a lot of things.
Yes.
I'm someone that believes that the way God created all human beings, he wants every one of us to be entrepreneurs. First man he created was an entrepreneur. If I thought he was working for anyone, he was working for God.
Right.
And he was not working so that he can eat. He had enough to eat. So working was just a pleasure.
Pleasure for him.
You understand?
Yes.
I always believe that we can all be entrepreneurs. We are all gifted. We all have talents. The Bible says that God, in his divine word now, he has given us everything for life.
Everything pertaining to life and godliness.
And godliness. And the way I tell people is that all you need to make it in life, God had already given to you. So if I'm going to survive in this world, what will make me survive is not external. He had already given me by his divine nature. So let me bring it out. All I'm doing now is making me. And you see, I'm getting so fulfilled because it's not looking like work. I'm enjoying it. It's coming from inside. It's not coming from outside. I'd once worked in the bank and I was not fulfilled because I was doing it from outside. Everything I do now comes from inside because I know it, that God has created all of us to have that entrepreneurial side. So this is going to take many people up there so fast. Hearing people talk about it and demystifying some things that they had always thought it's for some people's prerogative. We can't get there. So it's a great job you are doing.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lewis, for
really
having me here.
Really appreciate you for sparing this over an hour out of your very hectic schedule. I mean, bringing a CEO to the table.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
When it comes to impacting life, then you will know I will always be there.
It's really a pleasure having you. I just want to thank you very much for coming to the Mentors Lounge today. And I believe a lot of people who will watch this will definitely gain a lot. You have shared so much knowledge here today that, man, if someone is at a crossroad, they can run with the details from here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lewis. It's really been a pleasure being here.
Yes, sir. So
thank you.
And this will be the last session for September. Everyone should watch out for great guests coming in October, because October is dedicated to women on the Mentors Lounge. Thank you very much once again. It's me, Larry Lewis, signing off now. Bye for now.